heard an interesting statistic that 3% of the world's population produces and 97% of the world's population are consumers. And that the question is, which side will you be on? Are you just going to be a consumer? Are you going to be part of the 97% that does, that just, you just live to consume? You live to, buy food and eat. You live for entertainment. You spend your money and go to movies or buy movies or you can just list goes on, buy cars, buy clothes, in other words, you can be a consumer all of your life. And so you work a job to always to consume. Or will you be one of those ones who is a producer? Producer is everything from the farmer who makes the food to the person who makes the clothes to the person who makes the movies. Those are the producers, but they're only 3%. And so the choice that you and I have before us, if we say that we really want to be effective for the kingdom of God, that's what I'm getting at. If you really want to be effective for the kingdom of God, you can't be just a consumer. You have to think in terms of being the producer. But the hardest thing it is to do, as Pastor Carol was sharing today, is to discipline ourselves and get out of consumer mentality that I'm just simply here to get stuff. That's part of the reason why the church in America, can't say all over the world, but in America, the majority of the church is consumers. We really just live like the rest of the people in the country just to get stuff. But if the church is really going to become effective and be soul winners and be leaders, then you gotta switch sides and start being a producer. Just to give an example, people who produce movies don't watch movies. Why? Because they're making movies. People that produce television shows don't watch TV. Why? Because they're making TV shows. That's what I mean. And so at some point in our lives, you have to make the switch and say, okay, I'm going to stop just sitting and just watching the shows and watching the movies and just buying the products and just eating the food. And I want to be one that produces the shows, produces the movies, like we've been trying to demonstrate. I'm going to write the books. We're going to produce the music. People that, another example, we all love music in this room. People that are in the music industry, they don't sit back and listen to CDs and watch everybody's music video. Why? Because they're making them. So eventually you make the switch. Am I going to stop being just a consumer, just buying somebody else's product and popping it in my CD player? Or am I going to be a producer of this? Because everybody that's doing it is preaching. Every movie that's being made, every show that's being produced, even the food that's being produced, somebody has an agenda. They have a purpose behind what they're doing. Even for the bad food that's being put out, somebody has a purpose. And so what we're being called to, we're a small band of people in this room. Don't know how many people watch us online, but what I'm challenging you and us in this room, even myself, let's, for the joy that's set before us, endure the cross, despise the shame. We're going after God's purpose for our lives. Very appropriate message for Mother's Day, because mothers, every single one, they had a tough decision. Wow, you have this child and you become a producer. Am I right, mothers? They put aside all their plans and on a daily basis, every day, they are a producer. And so I thought it appropriate that a mother brings this word on Mother's Day to challenge everybody here to ask yourself, okay, from this point on, am I going to live as part of the 97% that just consumes, or am I going to be part of the 3% that produces, and we produce with a purpose? with the purpose of God.